Today, we are finally going to revisit the Pico Reef tank and fill it up with some water. So let's go. What's up, coral people? If you're new here, my name is Remy, and this is the Bahama Llama Coral YouTube channel. If you would like to support the channel, the best way right now is to hit that like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I upload new videos. I wanted to take a quick second to say hello to our friends worldwide. If you were watching in the UK, in Canada, Australia, Germany, or Asia, just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you're well and I hope you are staying safe. Today, I'm going to finally set up the Pico Reef tank once again. In the last video, I unboxed an amazing Aquascape made by Aquatic Aptitude. It just fit the tank so well. And if you noticed at the end of the last video for the Pico update, I just kind of started setting it up on the counter, really back there, and it didn't really feel right. I don't know, it wasn't an inspiring location. That sounds weird, but it just wasn't. Because let's be honest, there was no real plan on where I was going to set it up once I got the scape. So it looked weird in the space, and ultimately I decided to shelve the project until I was inspired to move it to its final resting spot. I think it was about a week ago, I was running on the treadmill and I was like, I got it. I know exactly what I want to do with this Pico tank. And it required a little construction, so let's go take a field trip. In my garage, just bought this new Mini Cooper here. It's fun to, kind of zip around the neighborhood going 2 miles per hour. But you know what I love more than materialistic things? Doing carpentry work poorly. The main thing that's been holding me up on this Pico tank build is that I didn't really have a place to put it. You know what, if I raise the tank up a little bit, I could still save some counter space. So, whether or not this actually saves space has yet to be seen, but it's giving me a little inspirational kick, so I think I'm just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna question it, and we're gonna get this Pico tank stand built today. So here are the materials that I'm gonna use. I'm actually just gonna mount some piping, and you can find this at any hardware store. And you've probably seen this look. A lot of times people will put shelving using this pipe. It's kind of a decorative, kind of industrial look. Raise it up with these, and then put these on as like feet, kind of adjustable feet. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing, but this can't be too hard, right? I figured I'd get a longer length of wood and maybe make some shelves to match down the road. I cut the wood to size, and I think the reason why I don't do a lot of woodworking projects is because I just don't have the proper equipment. So those of you that have shops in your house or in your garage or your basement, whatever, I envy you. I sanded the crap out of it, as you can see here. Pre-treated the wood for stain. I ended up staining it, and I gotta be honest, I'm not super thrilled with the color, but it'll work. After a couple coats of poly and some sanding, it should come down a little bit. I can knock down that color just a little bit. And in all reality, this build is insanely easy and unbelievably solid. So if you have a 2.5 gallon tank that you want to set up, or even something smaller like a 3 to 5 gallon that didn't come with a stand, this is a perfect option for you. I went ahead and I mounted the hardware, screwed in the legs, and boom, got a stand. So my main concern with this build is I wanted it to be clean, and I want it to look clean, because if I'm gonna photograph it and if I'm gonna use it for videos, I want it to look clean. As you can see by my other tanks, I have major OCD when it comes to cord wrangling. I don't have OCD when it comes to cord wrangling, although this does stress me out a lot. And for those of you that are OCD and do have really nice lines with your wires and your cords, and you got them wrapped and labeled and all that stuff, you probably cringe whenever you watch these videos. Sorry about that. You may have noticed a new light over here shining in this general area. That's where the Pico tank is gonna go. That light is an AI prime. I know it is overkill. We've gone over this several times, but it's an extra light. I have it, so why not use it instead of spending another $60 to $100 on a light from Amazon. Now I kind of love how this turned out, because I've got this shelf, And mind you, we didn't design this little kitchenette space. It's actually really poorly constructed, and I would like to redo the entire thing, but for now, it does the trick. And there's this shelf up here that I just kind of retrofitted the hardware that comes with the mounting kit, with the arm kit on the AI primes, and I mounted it to the shelf. And now that wire can kind of lay across the shelf along the back of the shelf. And as you can see, I'm gonna need a longer cord over here. But it's gonna look really clean when it's done. The best part is I'm not gonna have a giant arm coming over the Pico tank now. It just kind of like feels like it's floating in the sky. And I have to apologize to Telegram Jim. I'm sorry. He made me a really nice acrylic tee to mount it, you know, for some extra stability in the Pico tank, but I won't be needing that. So I feel bad. I'm sorry, Jim, but hey, let's go set this thing up. We've got all the stuff. We might as well. All right, so like I said, not really a huge fan of this kitchenette, but that's fine. It is what it is. So I went ahead and just sacrificed part of this counter here and made a hole because I want this to be clean. You know, we talked about it being clean. So if you look behind the mini fridge, you'll see an outlet. So we're gonna utilize this outlet and make it look really clean by putting all the wires in that hole. Here is the stand. I'll go right in front of that hole there. We'll move that into place in a little bit. Here's the tank. Should put a little sump under here. I thought about that, like having an acrylic sump or like ATO reservoir right here. That might be kind of cool. Hang on the back, ugliness. And the heater. So just a quick equipment overview here. This is it's called a Mignon by Azu. It's like a $14 hang on the back filter that you can get off of Amazon. This is an Aqueon set for 78 degrees heater. It's 50 watts. You might be saying 50 watts for that small of a tank, but I was having such a hard time at the office keeping a stable tank temperature. Now, mind you, it was near a window, which didn't really help the situation at all, but we'll try that out and see how it goes. Aquascape by Aquatic Aptitude, and of course the AI Prime. I've gone back and forth on whether or not I'm going to use an ATO, and obviously I could just run the line down this hole, which would keep it clean, but I don't know. I think a lid might be a better option here. A lot of people suggested that in the past couple videos, that I just get a lid and then I wouldn't have to worry about it as much. So I think the next step is we just go ahead and fill it with water. All right, let's go ahead and fire this baby up. It's alive! Oh, guys, it's back. This is exciting. And it has water once again. I'm really excited with how this build turned out. And I hope that this has inspired you to set up your own Pico tank. I kind of glossed over a lot of the equipment and things like that, so if you missed any of that, feel free to reference any of the 3 to 4 videos that I've done in the past on the Pico Reef tank. I don't even know if I can call it a reef tank because it has never seen coral at all. The only thing that it's seen so far is algae, and I grew that pretty well. You know, one thing that this tank could benefit from are barn doors. So I know Devin from Reef Dudes got together with VCA and they made a 3D printed barn door system that goes on the old AI Prime HDs. And it would be perfect for this scenario because there's gonna be a lot of light bleed. And if you wanna watch a movie in here and, you know, be on the TV and everything, you want to be able to kind of turn down that light. And yeah, you can get into the app and turn it down there, but you want to make sure that once you're on a schedule, you kind of stick to it. And I do want to give another shout out to Aquatic Aptitude on Instagram. She reached out a long time ago and was like, hey, I would love to make a scape for you for that Pico. We got together, she shipped it. I ended up putting it in the Pico tank. We set up a whole lot of stuff in the last video, but we just never filled it with water. So she's been like waiting for a while to see when this thing is actually gonna come to life. And here it is, back to life with the Aquatic Aptitude scape. Did you notice the Bahama Llama sculpture in it? Yeah, that's pretty sweet. She does some really great work, so go check her out on Instagram, links below. Also, a huge shout out to Scott Crow and all of my friends at Ocean State Aquatics. If you haven't been following along, go check out their Instagram page, go check out the Facebook page and the YouTube page to see how their mega store is coming along. And Freshwater Joe and Salty Alley usually have a video cooking up, so you gotta go check out the YouTube channel on the regular. If you have made it this far, thank you, I really appreciate you. And if you would like to support the channel, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I post new videos. I can't wait to see where the Pico tank goes. If you have any suggestions on how I should stock it, leave it in the comments below. I kind of think it's gonna be zoanthids, but I don't know. I'm so stir crazy right now. You know, I was thinking about this. Someone needs to do a documentary on reef keepers and call it the Coral King. The only requirement is mullet. Do we know any reef keepers in the hobby that have a mullet? I feel like Seth from the Reef Shine guys would be like the perfect main character for Coral King, the documentary. Sean Snails from Fritz would be like the Doc Antle guy. Okay, now we're on a thing here. Now we have to cast Tiger King, but with coral YouTubers and content creators and people who are well known in the hobby. Do your thing down in the comments section. Oh, and if you want to binge more videos, YouTube has provided me the option to display videos at the end, and you can, it's like choosing your own adventure. You can go with this one, you can go with this one, you can subscribe. They're all here. All those options are here. So, I mean, we've got nothing else better to do than sit here and ramble on at the end of a video. Okay.